And we're live. Did y'all decide to go live on your channel too?
No.
No, okay. I didn't know. Well, yeah, I have that. My husband paid for another month of StreamYard. I'm probably just going to do that until I get this channel monetized, and then I probably won't do it anymore. The reason I do it is because if I pull people up with me, I can talk longer.
Yes. Yep.
You know, because I have someone to talk to. So
it makes it easier than to just kind of like ramble on by
carry on the conversation by yourself.
What else can I talk about? You know, so yeah.
Not Adrian, yeah. At least the other person talks when you're silent, they're talking and stuff. So hello, Blessed to Crochet. Welcome in. So I wrote down a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and then what did I do? I walked off and left it in the other room. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Things I noticed about Missouri. For some reason, there's always turtles crossing the road. Did you notice that when you were there?
Yeah, we saw some.
Yeah, he kept going, there's a turtle, and every time he'd say it, I'd miss it. But at the very end, when we were heading out, I finally saw a turtle in the road, but he did manage to get his tires to both sides so he didn't hurt the turtle.
Yeah, I tried to avoid them too.
Well, they're telling you it's a change in weather.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Turtles in the road.
We are going to co-stream this.
Yeah, we are co-streaming, Gail.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Kick in.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. And if you're in this live right now, if you would go ahead and share this out on your community tab to get a few more people in here. Also, I noticed like when we were traveling to and from Jan's at night, there was a lot of deer, tons of deer. Did y'all see any deer?
Yeah, we did. The first night we went back to their house. We saw a bunch of deer.
They were all doe, of course, but yeah, there was a ton of doe. I mean, he's like, you're going to have to stop looking at your phone and help me look for deer. I'm like, okay, you know, I don't want to hit anything.
Yeah.
And then I did. I started like if it was dark outside, I would not be looking at my phone.
It helps when you're not familiar with those roads that you're traveling. Even on roads that you do travel on, you just never know on these back roads when they're just going to be hopping across, from fields, one side of the road to the other. So,
welcome in, Neil. Hello.
Speaking
of the meetup, we got to meet Beth and Neil with BNUS Odyssey and Treasure Hunter Neil. So they were really cool. Some of my favorite people I got to meet.
Beth is so creative. Last year she was into crocheting wind spinners. This year she had the little gnomes, the little garden gnomes. I thought
those are cute. I actually made my video and I realized I didn't put the gnome in it. So I'm going to go back and cut it somewhere.
Yeah.
And figure out where hubby put the gnome, and then I'm going to add it into the video before I post it. But I wanted to post like all the things I won and things we purchased and things that were given to me and the stickers and all that. I wanted to put all that in a video. So I haven't got that video. So I got to still add one more thing before I do that.
Hey, Neil, how's the weather down there? Neil's just said he's in Arkansas. He and Beth are at Arkansas at the Arkansas meetup.
You're at that meetup over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody else was talking about the meetup, another meetup. And I was like, which meetup are they talking about? And I didn't know until I was at the Ozark meetup. People were talking about it. There were people going to go straight from there to there. Hello, Joe with Grow Big TV. Welcome in, Scott with Rambling with the Brums. Yeah, on our way out from the meetup, we went to go meet Luann from Luann's Kitchen and Blackberry Rock Homestead. Did y'all know we were going to do that?
No, that's fun to do.
We drove over to Ava, Missouri, and met her at a McDonald's and had a breakfast with her. So that was really cool. I needed to go all that way and not get to meet Luann too. So,
well, you do a lot of collabs with them, so that was good.
Yeah. I mean, I've been talking to her for about 3.5 years.
Yep.
So I've known her for a while.
When we came back, we met Jesse and Lisa in January, and on our way back, we stopped in at MT Homestead and got to visit with Terry for a little bit.
I did get to meet them at Pinecone Fest last year.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in, Jaden, Kristen. Yep, Jaden and Kristen.
We stopped in at Gillum Farms and had lunch with Johnny Gillum that day. And we thought that our cabin in the woods, Tony and Angie, were a lot closer, and found out that they weren't. So we had to move them off our little return trip list. We thought they were farther east in Oklahoma, but they're more.
Yeah, he was telling my husband they're right off the highway there. Hello, Anita, Flora. Welcome in.
Yeah.
I really liked meeting Carol with Rambling with the Peach. I thought she was really, really nice.
Wasn't she who?
Yeah. If I have a moderator, if you'd put in BN US Odyssey and the Rambling Peach. Also, another one was Linda from At Another Time 2023. That's the easiest way to look up her channel.
She was a delight. She brought all that lamb, and that's the first time I ever had lamb, and it was delicious.
I know. I was a little nervous to try the lamb burger, but I was like, this might be my only time to get to try a lamb burger, so I better just do it. And it was good. The lamb had a good flavor. I was kind of surprised.
That's what I said too. That I might not ever do it again, so I've got to try it. You never know. And it was really, really good. Hi, P&J said.
Hello, P&J.
Are you doing Joe's Grow Big TV's contest for the biggest
zucchini?
Yeah,
I have my first weigh-in for zucchini scheduled for Sunday.
You got
and I have mammoth sunflowers that are about 6 foot tall right now.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I only have one Dr. Wychee tomato. I think I might go out and plant some more. Hello, the bud files. My Peter peppers didn't work out.
Mine didn't either. I'm going to try again.
What am I missing? What did I not mention?
I've got
watermelon radishes are up.
Oh, never mind. That's the survivor. That's the survivor.
Yeah, I did all. Oh, and the beets. Yes, and the beets. And I just combined my survival seeds and the beets.
Oh, okay.
I had the ones from Vineyard Chicks, and then I bought a pack.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just combining those two since they're the same thing. So everything worked out but the Peter peppers. That did not work out for me. And I only have one Dr. Wychee tomato. So.
My zucchini and my radishes are growing really, really great. And my Dr. Wychee's tomato plant is doing really good. And there was something else we didn't do. Oh, I get the two things mixed up. Oh, we don't have the sunflowers planted yet because Jerry wants to put them out in the corral. I don't know if we'll make that, deadline or not. But it's just been so wet here. We can't even. We worked our cow herd last Sunday when we got back from Jan's. Yeah. And we called to schedule for pickup because we don't have a livestock trailer. So we said, we don't know for sure if you can get in because we just got another inch of rain this week. And we have no
rained all day here yesterday. I only went out to feed the chickens. That's the only thing I went out for yesterday.
Yeah, we're so saturated. So we may have to wait a week to, have them picked up. We don't want the guy to get stuck with his, truck and trailer, although we could pull them out with the tractor, but we'll have some major ruts if we have to do that. So I just, some of my plants are, kind of drowning a little bit, but I've got some more tomatoes started. And got some more kidney beans for the survival because they aren't doing, and the peppers out in the survival aren't doing very well, nor are the Walla Walla onions, but everything else is okay.
Yeah, my Walla Walla onions came up and then they disappeared. So I don't know if they either got eaten by the roly-polies that are in my tires over there, or if they were just the wrong kind of onions for my area. See, these are my kidney beans right here. I don't know if I picked them at the right time or not, but I think I got about 6 ounces. I was doing the weigh-in for the zucchini, so I didn't have any purpose to weigh them, but I just weighed them just because I thought, you know what, I'm going to combine the survival seeds and Grow Big 24. I'm going to combine it and make one little short video showing my harvest. And
you just tag both of them and then you get yourself covered. Yeah, that's the way
I just put both hashtags in the title and description box, so I could get those 2 things done.
Yeah.
And then I went ahead and made a playlist for survival seeds and a playlist for Grow Big 24. That way, if Jill and Courtney want to go look to see if I did entry video, update video, and harvest video or weigh-in video, it'll all be right there.
Right. I need to do another video, I think this week, so Jerry can get it edited and, posted by the end of the month. So
yeah, I think they're doing extra drawings if you make, but and there's times that I just hashtag everything. Let's hashtag garden tour, hashtag Grow Big 24, and hashtag survival seeds. It's in there. It's on the video. So
I got to go out.
I don't have time. I like to separate it, but
I need to go out and update my weird container growing. The seeds that I started in the house that I soaked, because I did. Jan's Homestead gave me 4 seeds of 4 o'clock. The plant 4 o'clock, and you have to soak them. And I didn't know that when I went out and put them in the container. And then I said, oh crap, I'm supposed to soak them. So I had enough where I could soak them. And so they went both ways. Well, one plant survived being planted in the dirt directly. And then the others popped up in the house. And so I've got like 6 of them out there. Now they're starting to, they're just starting, it's really cool, just starting to grow. And I'm having fun with that.
Yeah. Jan gave me elderberry cuttings and Luann gave me elderberry cuttings. Luann's had roots on them. So I went ahead and put them in the ground like the next day. And then Jan's, the ones she gave me didn't have roots. So I have them in water in the kitchen window until they get some roots, and then I'll plant them.
Yeah, that's what I
have a good chance to get elderberry. We'll see.
I went to
sis, welcome in.
Hello to everybody that's come in since the last time I said hi. I can't keep up with chat and talk and the way the camera is. I got to look at the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it's something you need to see, I'll try to bring it up. Hello, Tammy, Mountain Grandma.
I go to a ladies' homesteading group once a month, and a lady was there this last time that brought in Thomas Jefferson purple beans, or purple hyacinth beans, I think it is. And I got to get those soaked so I can get those planted, because they will take off better if I do it that way. But they're not edible beans. They look like a kidney bean, but they're purple. And they have their...
Is it the hyacinth that has the purple flower and the purple bean?
It's not a flower. It's just a purple bean. Let me see. It's like a kidney bean, but it's not an edible. And I have it. I saved I think I can find it.
I think that might be what I have going. I have hyacinth.
Yeah.
We used to call them purple bean vine because we didn't know the name hyacinth, because my dad used to plant them.
That. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So you have to soak those seeds, and I need to do that so I can get them out there. And I think about it during the day, but it only needs like 12 hours, so I'm not going to be out in the garden planting at midnight. So I need to start soaking them before I go to bed, and I just forget, because I kind of start taking a nap about 9 o'clock at night. And
well, the ones that I got coming up, I didn't soak those, but I probably should have soaked them. The two I have growing in buckets up onto a fence, and then the other ones I have growing in pots up onto a trellis. And those are the ones that didn't come up. So maybe I should have soaked mine. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try the soaking, because it did work with the 4 o'clock seed. And then I just need to find a spot to put them where they have a trellis to attach to, so that they can. And I have a spot for that. So I just need to move a couple pots. We went out.
4 o'clocks look great.
Yeah, we went out and bought some mushroom, a percentage of mushroom compost and topsoil, but it still gets a little thick, not thick, but hard, so we have to mix in some perlite. And I think that has something to do with the seeds starting in dirt. It's not airy enough. So we're going to fix that. We're going to get that working.
Yeah,
And
some of my pots, some of the things didn't come up in them. So I literally pulled it out, threw it to the side, and put some new seed in there. And I
yeah,
know I should have refreshed the soil, but I didn't have money to go do that at the time. So,
well,
but I do get paid from YouTube next week. Yay.
yeah,
Not that
I
it's money, but
well, it does help, and that's what I'm going to do with my herbs. I've got to get my vertical planter set up this weekend, and I've got some herb plants that I got, some seeds that I started, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm just dumping all the dirt into a big tub, mix in some perlite, a little new dirt from this year, and that's what they're going to get, and we'll see how it goes. Try that out. I can't buy dirt all the time either. It's just, and the dirt we have here is it. What do you call it? It's like topsoil, and it's not really.
I'm trying to make my own soil over on the other side of the yard.
Yeah.
We have some limbs that are decomposing over there. So I've been trying to every day rake leaves over there, and then I break up sticks and I throw the chicken manure.
Yep.
Okay.
And I've been doing all that and putting all that over there and watering it occasionally. I don't have to do that right now because it's been raining, and just trying to break it down for soil for next year. So I'm trying. This year I was about 50-50 buying my own soil and using the soil from over there. So I'm hoping for next year to maybe I could be 75-25. We'll see.
When we were at the 10 killer meetup, we stayed in the lodge, and then we had to drive a couple miles down the road to get to the meetup place. And we drove by a place that produce stand, and so we stopped there. Well, they weren't open the first time we stopped by, and then the next day they were there, and we were talking with them, and then we came back later on Sunday and got some stuff. But the middle visit, we went out and we were talking about him using IBC totes. And he actually cut his IBC totes in half, and then he put 3 straw bales in there, and he was doing straw bale gardening
in the IBC tote,
using the IBC tote as a confirmation, to hold it all together. And so we're going to go and get some more totes from across the road and do the same thing. And
I like
use
that idea.
for,
I actually have I have some things growing in totes. I have pickling cucumber. I grow it in the tote, so I don't have to do a lot of weeding. Grow it in the tote up onto a trellis. So that works. And then one of them has zinnias, and then I have parsley. Anyway, I have a whole line of stuff that grows on the trellis, just trellises that my hubby made.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the dirt is that, some of our stuff is in the dirt, but we're going to do the straw bale for a fall garden. And start that like in July and August. You have to, what do you call it? You have to condition the bales, and it takes about 2 weeks to do that before it's ready, breaking down, mulching kind of like inside. Yeah.
I think Mountain Grandma was doing some straw bale gardening this year for the first time. So she was talking about the processing. So
yeah, I did that a few years ago. And then the farmer that I would get my bales from, didn't have a great harvest, and what he had was committed to the feed stores, and the price that I would pay him was like double at the feed store, and to buy like 20 bales is what I usually did. I couldn't do that at the price the feed stores were charging, so I backed off, and that's when I started doing some container gardening, and that's where you really have to make sure your dirt's really fluffy and it's not all straight like topsoil. So
yeah, like hubby gets me these wooden top shipping containers, and then he puts holes in them for me. So I got one the year before, and then last year I got it after the season was over. So I worked on trying to fill it up with, I started with like leaves and sticks, and then I did some dirt from the other side of the yard, and then I added different amendments to it, and I just kept going. And at the end of the season, I added a fresh layer of dirt from the side of the yard, and then actually few bags of store-bought soil as well. So it is just layers and layers of stuff.
Yeah. In Indiana, backyard gardener can get straw bales for $5. Is that from from a farmer, or is that from your local feed store? Because my feed store doubles the price.
It used to be $5 a piece. Now they're up to 10.
Yeah, well, they were 8. I think I bought some last year for 8 from MFA, but I get them from $4 or $4.50. And then if he has returns from the feed store or they got damaged by some, weather and whatever, he sells them to me for $1. So, we make it work. 'Cause I use the straw bales for my garden, but I also put them out for the goats in their huts, for when it's wintertime, fall and winter for, heat and whatever. And we also use them for the dogs. Ooh, $12 in New Jersey. Well, that's not bad from the farmer, $5. That's probably what I'll have to pay this year because everything's going up.
Hi, Jan.
Oh, definitely. Hello, Jan. Simply Jan Homestead. I kept seeing her name, but I was like, I'll wait. I'll say hi to her in a minute.
Get to Gavin and
Get to Gavin and yeah. Did y'all watch the video of Jan's surprise? I know y'all knew what it was, but
yeah. Did you see it? We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
We need to go back
Jan
and look.
has a video and I have a video. My meetup video has it and her meetup video has it. So
Yeah.
I passed off Popsicle Head Heather to Jan. So now she gets to make a video or do a live with her. And then she's supposed to send her on to somebody else after that.
Ah.
I have 4 popsicle heads.
Yeah, you do. You
Yep.
do.
Heather texted that to me. She said, I told her I was going to make a little slideshow video of all the people she got her picture with. And she said, yeah, call it The Adventures of Popsicle Head Heather. So that little slideshow is going to come out on Saturday.
And that'll be fun.
It's weird because people that weren't at the meetup are like, was Heather there or was Heather
Yeah.
not there? So they didn't watch the video all the way through to figure out what was going on. So
that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, it was. And I remember I was sitting there talking to Christine, Mrs. Gillen Farms, and she looked over and she goes, what is that? She saw Heather's popsicle head sitting in the plant. And I was like, that's Heather. And I went and got it. And then that's when I took a picture of her and Johnny with the popsicle.
With the popsicle. Yeah, that was cute. That was really cute.
That was fun. And then I sent all the pictures to Heather. She said she's going to print them and put them in her craft room.
Ah, that would be good.
Yeah, I was telling them that you were trying the hay bale or straw bale gardening this year for the first.
I grew potatoes. 1 year I did potatoes in my square bales. The only thing I know you can't put in square bales is corn. Too tall, it's too top heavy when it's growing. So, but anything else, I mean, even tomato plants with the wire supports, you can stick those in there. I did zucchini in mine and squash. I did beans 1 year, so you can do just about anything. And I always did mine with plants. I'd go to the FFA group up at the high school, and they had a greenhouse. They would sell plants that they did through class and whatever. I was not very successful planting seeds in the tops of it. You have to have about 2 inches of dirt on top of your square bale after you've got it conditioned. And my seeds didn't really take off. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but we're going to try both plants already started and seeds in our fall.
I was wondering about that. I was thinking to myself, wouldn't the seed just kind of fall through?
Yeah. Put about
I haven't watched the video.
Dirt. Yeah. And you have to water it very lightly. I mean, you have to water it, but you have to water it very lightly until everything gets established, because it will fall through if you just dump the water on there.
Yeah. Did you guys go with us to the Amish store when we went?
No, we got there when you all were coming back.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
we came. Yeah, that's right. We came back and you guys had got there. Yeah, because she's like, okay, we got to go. Susan and Jerry are at the house. And we were pretty much done.
Yeah. Oh, we were fine because
we were coming up to the counter to pay anyway. Yeah. So,
what kind of stuff did they have there? Is it like a produce store?
I want to say they did. They had some bakery items. They had. I bought a jar of elderberry jelly just because I wanted to try it because I'm going to be having elderberry in the future, hopefully. So I got elderberry jam, and then I got honey, so I'll have it for recipes. And then we had people watching our animals, so I got them a muscadine jelly, and I got them a thing of honey too. That was like their gift for watching our animals.
Yeah.
And then I got some raw sunflower seeds that were roasted and salted just to put on salads. And then we got that thing of cookies. We got that from the Amish store, the one that was at the food,
Yeah. We have a big contingency of Mennonites. I think we've got a big church group here, and they have a store that's very popular, and it's just across the road from us, but very popular for their cinnamon rolls. But it's a lot of bakery. It's a lot of it's basically a grocery store. They have a little deli. They make really good sandwiches, and they do have some other goods on consignment.
This one didn't have any deli items, but it did have some bakery items.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of stuff you would bake with. Say if you were on a gluten-free diet, they had the different flours and things. Like I probably could have picked up some stuff like that because I'm trying to follow the plant paradox, but like I'm on the roller coaster with that. But anyway, they had mostly we purchased food items, I would say. There.
I buy my spices from them. It's a little bit more economical because I get it by the ounce, and I use the little tubs for other things. But anyway, I get most of my spices up there.
Yeah, I thought the sunflower seeds were a good deal for considering they were peeled.
Mm-hmm.
And it was $2.70. That wasn't bad. And then the jar of honey and jelly was the good size one, not the tiny ones that you put jelly in, like the bigger size. Yeah, more like a pickle size. And it was like $5. I thought that was a decent deal. So
when we have a couple of beehives out out that way, and the guy will give us a jar of honey that comes from the bees that are on our property, and it's a pint jar. So I've got a stockpile of that, and I'm using it right now for my meat chickens. I read about, I'm going to say his name wrong, Joe Salatine, has a magic chicken water, and it's some honey, some apple cider vinegar, and some garlic in like a gallon of water, and you feed that to your chicks. And I guess your regular chickens too, but it helps their immune system. And I usually put apple cider in my adult chickens, but I'm doing this for the little meat chickens.
I need to do that. I need to go put some apple cider vinegar in my chickens' water. Hello, Marketplace Boutique.
It's like an eighth of a cup of it per 5 gallons. I think it's not very much. I have to look it up every time I do it, but it seems to help their immune system and their feathers. They don't seem to molt as much. And I'm really going to do it really heavy religiously during the winter time, because that's when I have all my molt and the chickens start slowing down on their eggs production.
Yeah. I had one that was going through kind of a rough molting there, but she managed to get through it, and she's looking better now. But for a while there, she looked kind of
ratty.
Kind of ratty. Yeah. We have some chickens that are kind of older.
Mm-hmm.
We have a mid-range, and then we have some brand new ones. So the newest ones we have we got 3 Wyandottes and 3, what was the other one? Maybe a golden sex link. I'm not sure.
The chickens I get are from a little farm stand up the ways, and they bring them in by the truck, I guess. I'm not sure how they're delivered, but sometimes they're in a kind of a ratty situation because it's the time of the year or whatever. But they come from the chicken houses, because the chicken houses around here only keep the chickens up to a certain time period. I think it's almost a year, and then they rotate them out. Well, these people buy them and then they turn around and they sell them. So that's what I don't want to wait for the little chicks to grow up and then the eggs and all that kind of stuff. You know, I want eggs right away. So that I buy them by the dozen up there, and I
Yeah.
bring them home, and then I do the apple, vinegar and whatever, and they come along. They're back in production, within a week, and they start looking really good. And then I let them free range in the afternoon and lock them up at night. So I keep them locked up until they're done laying their eggs, and then about noontime we let them out, and they're out eating the bugs and the ticks and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah. We since we do mostly, and since we're doing small, well, decent sized backyard, we pretty much just buy ours 6 at a time.
yeah,
But right now we have 13. We had 2 die last year with the weather. I had gone out of town, and I was visiting my sister, and my husband was trying to maintain working all day and taking care of the animals by himself. 2 of them passed away from the weather, from the heat in Texas. So it makes me really nervous about going out of town during the hot heat.
yes.
So I think Pinecone Fest is in October because it's not so hot then.
No, that'll be a nice time. That'll be a nice time for sure. I just have to make sure my chickens stay, because we aren't fenced across the front. We don't have a busy road, but we do have a road. And, when they've got their mind on a bug or something, they're not looking for traffic or whatever. And so that's how we lost a lot of guineas when we first moved here. We had guineas out there for the bug population. But the chickens, they'll kind of like walk across the road. So I have to, that's my biggest predator per se, other than the raccoon that we had. When was that? A couple years ago?
Oh, it's been probably 4.
We had raccoon where raccoon literally get into our coop and literally wiped out half my flock in one night.
We had a raccoon kill 4 of our chickens about 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah,
they kill for fun.
Yeah, but we took care of the problem, and that's.
I didn't see them, but my husband said they were pretty mutilated.
Yeah, it happens.
He planted the pieces in the garden, in my wild garden over there. That's where he planted them, because at the time they were killed, there was nothing planted there. So he's like, "Well, where can I put these chickens?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, go ahead and put them in the wild garden," and then so that worked as natural fertilizer.
I was going to say, you probably have some.
I don't dig. I don't want to find anything.
Yeah.
I don't do that with the cats, but I do with the chickens.
Yeah. I have a little area for my dogs and cats too.
Yeah, we have a Princess Leia buried in the back, and we have Baby and Curly Sue. We have 3 cats buried in the back, and they're right by the shed there. He has these heavy barrels, and he puts it on them that way, the animals don't dig in there.
Right. When we moved here, we brought our cats with us, and they were inside cats, so we were always being careful going in and out. And then we evolved to where the cats we have now are in and out all the time. They come in at night most times, but they're out during the day, and they've got their job. They're out there looking for the little mice and whatever. They don't bother the rabbits. But
we have 1 indoor-outdoor cat, and then we have 1 cat that's strictly outdoors, because after she got her surgery, it messed up something, and she started potting inside, like it was just really gross. So I didn't want to put her out there, but I had to. And then that's when we got Curly Sue, the one that just passed away. Right. And the reason I was more attached to her is because she was indoors with me all day long. Mm-hmm. So I would, she felt like a piece of the family. So that's why I struggled a little bit with that one. But I
struggle with every single one of them, dogs and cats. When we moved out here, we brought 6 dogs with us, and they've all since moved on. And I rescued, I guess is what you would call it, the ones that we have now. One dog, the German Shepherd, we rescued from through Pinecone Fest last year, German Shepherd rescue group in Texas. And then our cattle dog, we paid for her, but she was actually rescued because the first owner didn't want her. She didn't do the job that he thought she should be doing, and he had other ways of taking care of her. And the breeder said, no, I'll take her back. And so we got her for a pretty good, price. But the others we got in different ways as rescue. So I have a motley crew now. My Missouri dogs are a motley crew.
Yeah. Well, Bright and Curly Sue were both, born of our stray cat that we used to feed Daisy. And she did eventually pass away too. I don't know what of. I'm going to guess feline leukemia, but I'm not sure. And that's what we think maybe Curly Sue passed away of. She did get her vaccine. So I don't know if it was just already prevalent in her when we gave her the vaccine. I don't know. I mean, it costs a lot of money to get those tests to find out what's wrong. So
did she do a lot of coughing?
No.
I had a Siamese cat.
She started getting skinny. That was one of the signs I started to be able to feel the bone on her back.
See, I had the last cat that I lost last December. That's what happened to him. He started losing weight. I changed dog foods for him, blah, blah, blah. No, I've never made cowboy candy. I need to get a recipe and see what it's all about and maybe try that.
Yeah, I would have to have jalapenos for that because all I have growing in the backyard is cayennes, and that would be some hot cowboy candy.
Yeah. But when I took her to the vet, Jerry wanted me to take her to the vet, and so I did, and they did some tests on her, and it was a thyroid, it was a couple different things, and she was already 15 years old. He was 15 years old. And so I made a quality of life decision because I'd have to buy that science diet cat food, which is very expensive, and just for one cat. And then he would have to be on this medication that I would have to give him every day, and then renew it every month. And I'd have to take him back for tests to see how he was doing.
Yeah.
And it's really hard, but it's always something that I tell people that I work with that, you have to make a quality of life decision. You have to decide what you can and can't do financially, and nobody should judge you for those decisions. And I stand by it.
The day that she passed away, I had just texted my husband that morning and said, I think we need to talk about getting her put down. Mm-hmm. And I had just started thinking of that, but she died on the steps in our living room. I think she was coming to me.
Yeah.
I was in the kitchen. I had been on a live, and I made myself like a homemade iced coffee. And I was going in there, and I was going to sit and spend time with her, which I had been doing every day since she had been sick. I would sit down and just hold her and talk to her and just spend time with her every day. And then, I just looked over there, and I went in, and the first thing I did was I took my contacts out because I knew I was going to be crying. It's hard to cry with contacts in. Put my glasses on, and I went back in the backyard, and I was holding Miley, and just crying hysterically. I'm sure Miley was like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?" Yeah. And hopefully my neighbors didn't hear me because I was throwing a busy fit in the backyard. And then eventually I pulled myself together enough. I came inside because I knew when my husband got home, he was going to be carrying her and burying her out there. And I didn't want to be there for that. So I just went and hid in the bedroom, and he's like, "Well, are you going to stay with her?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
You did that part already. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had been saying goodbye to her for about a month and a half, 2 months. I knew something was wrong with her. Yeah. So
I stayed with my cat when they did it. It was very hard.
A lot of people can do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not one of those people. I'm very, very, very sensitive, and I just it even took me a little while to even go in the living room after that. For a few days, I couldn't even go in there. Yeah. Now I still look at it, but it's not as bad. But sometimes I'll go by, and in one of the lives will be playing in my bedroom, and I'll see me holding her or something, and that'll get me teared up because, she was always right beside me. She was always here, so.
Well, I brought him home, and I buried him, and my son, Jerry, does not do well with those kind of vet visits, and he's never, I've never made him do it. I just, I just did it, but the cat bothered me. The cat bothered me, and I brought him home, and I was out there. I found the spot for him, and I was, digging a hole and whatever. And my son offered to help, and I said, I don't, just leave me alone. I want to do this. I'll be fine. Just leave me alone. And I took care of it. And
Yeah.
not easy. I understand totally.
My husband's been the one to do all the chickens and cats.
Yeah.
He's had to do all that. So I thank God for him. I'm glad there's always somebody that can do that, because I'm not one. I mean, if I were by myself, totally by myself, and I had to, I would do it. Right? I could do it if I needed to.
Yeah.
But since he was there, he did it. He said he got choked up doing it.
You do.
He said he got choked up doing it. And I was like, wow, that would be so hard. But yeah, he's had to bury, golly, so many animals. But anyway, at least 6 chickens and then 3 cats.
Yeah,
and that's what I think of right now. So
3 horses, 2 donkeys.
We don't have to talk. We don't have to think all like that.
Well,
we've had quite a few, but we have a place when we first moved
horses
here.
are hard too because they're heavy. I was there when one of them, they actually took the tractor Kubota thingy and put the horse in there, and then I guess, I don't know, maybe they already had the hoe dug and then dropped and then horses are hard to bury.
Yeah, we do that. We've done that too. We have a certain area that we move, the bigger animals to and put them out there. And we also have, in our original plan, we call it Cemetery Road to this day, because there's a few, that we buried along this road. We have to, the dirt kind of sinks down, so we have to build it back up, so we don't.
Have you ever had to put one down with a pew-pew?
I've had the vet out here several times, yes. Because
I've been there when it was done, but I didn't. But it wasn't my pet or a pet I was attached to. But still, I was sitting in the vehicle and they were over there doing it. So when I heard the shot, I didn't look over because I didn't want to see anything. I just looked at it. I knew what was happening.
Well, when you have the animal vet come out, it's by injection, like it is at the vet's office, And we've only had a couple that we've had to put down ourselves. I think 1 or 2. I don't want to misspeak, but it's not that. That is even worse on Jerry than having the vet come out, because he's the one that has to do that if we do it ourselves, and he does not like doing that.
Yeah, but that would be really hard. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but our vets, live quite a ways away, so they charge for a farm visit, then they charge for the injection. They've got, I think it's $200 or $300 to have them come out and do that.
And that's how much they were going to charge us for that feline leukemia test. They were going to charge us like $350 just for the test to find out if she had it.
And then you find out for sure, but the end result is still going to be the same. So I just look at it as quality time.
We assume that that's what it was, but not for sure. She was the mouser.
Yeah, so it's possible.
She could have gotten something from a mouse. She did go in the utility room where she did occasionally catch those little water buggy things. We also, my husband had received a plant as a gift when his father passed away. She had messed with that a little bit. After she died, I made him throw it away. I said,
it could have.
Well, number one, it's probably a bad memory for you to see that plant, to remind you of that every second, even though I did put a picture on the refrigerator. But I made him throw it away. I'm like, we're not going to lose another. If that's the purpose, why she died was that stupid plant. He threw it away because I was upset, and he didn't even want to hear what I had to say after that, because I was like, I looked it up and I was like, I was mad. I was like, I was like, did you look up that plant to see if it was okay for cats? I looked it up. I pulled it up what it said. I showed it to him. He took the plant and put it out in the dumpster. He didn't say another word after that. So well, there's so many things it could be.
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
That's what we have to watch too, is when landscaping around, like where the horses are at, there's quite a few trees that they can't eat the foliage. So, I mean, they're beautiful trees, but we can't have them close to where the horses are, where the cattle's at. We have to figure out different other types of landscaping for shade and, and put buildings up and stuff. And it's always the first thing that, Jerry says, is it good around equine? Is it good around cattle? And I'll look it up several different places. I don't take just the first site that I find, but several different sites. And I said, no, we can't do it. We can plant it away from the animals, but it can't be near the animals.
Yeah.
Just a rule of thumb for us. But you don't always think about that when you've got house plants with cats and dogs.
And I don't normally do house plants either. So, I mean, now that we'll just say that's a suspicion out of 5 or 6 things.
Yep.
So now that is in my brain, I will just refuse all house plants from this point forward. I prefer outside plants because if you get busy and you can't water it, sometimes gotta water it for you. And so that's a good thing about outside.
If you go away, somebody's got to come in and do it. So then you've got somebody in your house. You just never know. So house.
He'll water for me. Like if I go out of town to stay with my mom, he'll water for me. So
That's good.
That is a lot to do when you got a full-time job, though. Water the animals and water the yard and feed the animals and all that. So he realizes how much I do when I'm out of town. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, you do a lot of stuff around here." Yes, I do. That's when he knows it. And then dinner too,
Yeah, that's what my friend tells me. He usually does my stuff when I'm gone. And I don't go that big by myself that often. I go to California once, maybe twice a year, and that's about it. Any other places I go, it's me and Jerry together. So, but he still does my routine. And he said, "Man," I said, "Yeah, it's a lot, Yeah. At least I don't ask him to do my sewing or my knitting for me. That would drive me nuts probably. But he does do the animals, and they're mostly self-sufficient right now. You just have to put some feed in some feeders a couple times a week maybe, and check water. And he's out moseying around anyway.
We left him in here in the house. We just put a lot of food and a lot of water out because we didn't want him. We didn't want the people watching the animals to have to chase him.
Yeah.
So we figured he'll be better inside. So we left the toilet seat up. We left a big bowl of water and a big bowl of food. So he had everything he needed. But he was rearing to get out of this house when we got here, though. He was going.
Yeah.
But it was late. It was dark, so he didn't get to go out the first night. He had to wait till the next morning because I don't let him run around at night.
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing. Thing.
Definitely. There's a lot of stuff out there. So even in this neighborhood, which is a small town, we've caught in our trap. We didn't start doing the traps till after the 4 chickens got killed. We've caught raccoons, lots of skunks, lots of possum. That's what
I've had a skunk or two come twice, I think, on close enough for one of the dogs to get sprayed. And unfortunately, it was the boxer. They've got that pushed in, that brachycephalic face. And so he's got all these folds. And it's always at night. So I'm out on the back porch with the tomato juice, pouring it all over him, trying to get inside. Because the first time he got the skunk, I watched him with tomato juice and whatever, but not good enough, because for the longest time he'd come up and kiss you or whatever, or walk across your face and you could smell. He still had a tinge of that skunk smell in those folds. So the next time that it happened, man, I scrubbed him down, and then I poofed him, and that did a lot. Yeah, so we've been lucky with skunks, just 2 that have come too close to the house. They get hit on the road going back and across the road, and you can smell them. And I thought, oh man, you guys get back here. I don't let them wander off too far. You never know if it's dead or alive.
My hubby's actually like a professional skunk releaser because he has a blanket in his truck. He'll put the blanket over it, load him in the truck. Then when he gets to where he's going to release, he will, I think he opens the gate, pulls off the thing, and then lets it, and then it runs because it doesn't want to be anywhere near you.
Yeah.
But
it's been harder with the animals, Jan, than it is with kids. At least kids, you can find family members to take care of them, but the animals are tough.
Well, my main concern was not the food, but the water. I didn't want the water to run out of chickens. Because that's probably what happened last year when I was out of town at summer. So I'm going to be a little more sensitive about that next time, but or maybe remind him a little bit more.
Yeah, I worry about being gone in the summertime. Just me, with the garden, because the garden doesn't get taken care of the way that I do it. I mean, they do it, but it's not the same, and so it kind of dies off a little bit when I would go to California in August, but I've kind of changed my routine this year. I went in April, and I'm going to go April next year, so I'll be here through the summer.
Yeah, it gets pretty hot in July, so sometimes some of my plants will die off toward the end of July or or sometime in August. So yeah, sometimes it's okay to travel in August because sometimes I'm starting to pull stuff up, but I do usually have a lot going in the wild garden though.
Yeah.
With the pumpkins and the gourds and the cantaloupe and all that. Yeah, all that. That'll grow on into the fall.
Do you have all that planted right now, or are you waiting a little bit?
No, it's all back there. The reason I went ahead and planted the pumpkins is because they're giant pumpkins. And according to Ryan at Heavenly Hills Homestead, when you're doing the giant pumpkins, you got to plant them in May because they take longer to
not germinate, but grow. Yeah.
To get to the big size that they're supposed to be. So I have about five giant pumpkin plants up right now.
No signs of pumpkins yet.
No, not yet.
But that's Jerry's thing. He wants to. We have one side of our corral that doesn't have any animals in it, and he wants to rototiller it up and make it a big pumpkin patch and gourds and all that. He just can't get out there yet because it's been so dang wet. And that.
I know. Yeah, I put my rain boots on today to walk out there, and it's pretty soppy.
Yeah.
I hope it gets to dry off for a while because I know other people have had flooding.
Yes.
But I hope it gets to dry out really well. But I want to go out there because I just got my seed swap from Indiana Backyard Gardener's seed swap.
And
she sent me 50 different kinds of seeds.
Oh my gosh, you hit the lottery.
And I've already planted, right? So what I did was I went back to the pots where the stuff didn't come up. There are some failures.
Yeah, it happened.
I just pulled out what was there. And then, I like I said, I didn't have any soil and I didn't feel like digging on the other side of the yard. I just put them in the way they are.
Yeah.
Just some flowers. And I'm like, okay, hopefully I'll get some flowers out of that. Now, I haven't had any trouble with nasturtiums. I can throw them any old dirt and they just pop right up. But other people, they have problems. So maybe it has to do with soil temperature because it's really hot here in Texas.
That does make a difference. That's for sure. That's why they tell you not to. You find out what your last freeze date is, and you plant after that. And I always give it another week, even if I'm doing straw bales or I'm doing, the container garden. I still wait for that frost date to get past. And then
people are always like, "What kind of tomatoes are you planting?" I don't know. Whatever I went off of Garden State Gardener on Sunday Fun Day, that's what kind I'm planting.
Dad.
See, I'm not picky.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. I
plant whatever I get. There's a few staples. I have to have some kind of tomato. I have to have my zucchini. Now I really like my butternut squash. I'm going to have that every year.
Yeah.
I used to do hot jalapeno or cayenne peppers and, I just have tomatillas. I usually do tomatillas. That's something I don't normally get
Seeds
from
for
anybody is the tomatillas. So I usually end up buying those myself somewhere because
I think at the feed store, they have a little garden center, very, very, very small. It's all Bonnie plants and stuff. And I was amazed at the price of them. But anyway, I got a deal on some of them because they were so kind of like dead looking. And I had some water on some dirt, brought them home, stuck them in that, and they're ready to plant in the containers. So I'm doing that today.
Hi, Beverly Moffat. Boom. He's saying boom. I think he's saying boom because I said, what kind of tomatoes do I plant? Whatever Garden State Gardener sends me.
There you go. He's going to do it.
That's the real answer. And then on top of getting the 50 seeds from IBG Seed Swap, I also got a 10-pack of seeds from the Survival Seeds giveaway. So I have that too.
That's great.
I have this bowl, and I pulled out. Well, I separated the seed swap, and in this half I'm saving for next year. This half I'm planting this year, and then there was only 2 seeds that I didn't want out of 50. That's pretty good.
Wow, that's great.
They sent some butternut squash, so I thought I would go ahead and plant a couple more where the others are because it's that specific type, want them butternut squash. So I thought I would go ahead and put 2 more in the ground over there. So
I'm going to
pull out those,
I'm going to try to do some progressive planting this year too. I've got some zucchini out there, and I got 3 zucchini, and I think in another month I'm going to start some more and plant them in a different area out in the garden. And
I have a plant that's looking all the plants are looking great, and this one started looking kind of weird, so I'm kind of wondering if something's going on there. But hubby tried to pull a zucchini off of there, and I'm like, no, because what I'm doing is I'm saving certain ones to be the big one, right? So what I need to do is go out there and get like a red ribbon or a purple ribbon or some kind of ribbon and mark it for hubby. Is you can pick all but this one. And once I pick that one, I'll mark another one. Right. And so I've already, the first one I weighed 1 pound, 5 ounces. The second one weighed 2 pounds, 13 ounces, I think, almost 3 pounds. But anyway, I was like, ooh. So I got one in my brain that's supposed to be the next one. So I know I need to get over 2 pounds.
Yeah. You need
over 3 pounds.
Mark them. You need to mark them so they don't get picked on.
Yeah, he doesn't like to plant stuff, but he likes to harvest things. He loves going out there and picking things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, not that one. That's my Grow Big 24 one. So
yeah.
So I have one pit, I went ahead and weighed those, and then.
Did you? And so then you just journaled the weight. Do you take a picture of it too, or?
I think I just showed the scale.
Oh, okay.
I had my husband tier it for me because I had it back when I was doing Shed Wars. He had bought that scale for me, so I had him tier it for me, and then I just showed what the scale said. So anyway. That's my first. I know I know it's not necessarily a winner. I'm just putting it out there. So
that's what
compare everything from, right? So
that's
the first one.
Exactly.
But I'm holding out. I'm not picking that one. I don't care how big or seedy it gets. It's going to grow and grow and grow until it starts to get a little sunburnt looking. I'll pull it.
If it gets seedy, then you just collect those seeds for next year because then that's a good grow from.
Great idea. That'd be a great one to get seeds from because it'll be a fully mature. Yeah. Well, I have actually left the middle seed part and cut around it and made like zucchini bread from the other part and left the seeds out.
Yeah.
You'd still make some good zucchini bread with it. Matter of fact, I made zucchini bread yesterday with the 1 pound one.
With the 1 pounder?
Yeah, with the 1 pounder.
I've got some, I shred up my zucchini and freeze it and then
I did that
But
last year.
faucet, I have to make sure I get all the water out of it so that it doesn't, make a really soggy bread. I learned that the hard way right here. So
Yeah. Yesterday, instead of putting the 2 cups of zucchini that it said, I went ahead and shred the whole entire 1-pounder and put that whole thing in there. They were so moist. And anyway, so I did half of it plain, and then the other half I put nuts and cranberries. I'd never tried cranberries in there, but I put some cranberries in there. It was pretty good.
that sounds good.
They came on.
Good. Thanks, Jan.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more soil next week to
Yeah.
finish trying to plant some more of these seed swap seeds. Okay.
To watch Sunday fun day.
Yeah, he's going to have the guy. So I'll get to talk about my 5 pumpkins I have growing from his, and then I have the and his mammoth sunflowers too.
Yeah.
I planted the mammoth sunflowers he sent me too, so those could be some really big ones. Out of all the weather we had, only one of my sunflowers has turned over a little bit. So
lucky. That's great.
damaged, I'm gonna tie it up onto the fence right next to it, so hopefully it won't happen again.
Keep going. Yeah. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Gail as you go out, and everybody have a good day that's leaving.
Free Handley Made AU is my sister-in-law.
Yes, I've checked out her channel a couple times. She's a hoot.
Yeah, she is. She's funny. Tigsy just won a giveaway, a gift card from me. I think she won some stuff from Milk and Honey Heritage.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. I donated a gift to Milk and Honey Heritage Farms giveaway that she had recently.
That's always fun. That's nice to, share on other giveaways. So it's not just all the hosts.
Yeah, I try to when I can.
Yeah.
I mostly use my YouTube check for things for YouTube or things that are for me personally. And I try not to ask my husband for very much. I try not to be too needy or I want, so.
Yeah.
So when I get that, I try to budget it really well on what I think I need. And I usually purchase at least one gift card for YouTube out of every check that I get.
That's nice. We're doing our, I do oddball giveaways that, I just want to be, different. I don't know. And so we're doing a giveaway on our 40th wedding anniversary in July on Saturday before, I think it is. So I've been shopping around, and we just had a Ollie's open up in Joplin. So I found some things there that within my budget to kind of have an X amount of money, and I've stayed in it pretty good. So I think I'm pretty well set on that. I like to stay ahead of the game. You never know when you want to do a big one.
Yeah. For Fall Fest, I usually try to just do gift cards because they're just so much cheaper to mail. And people can just buy whatever they want. So I thought I would go ahead and purchase, because I'm going to need 3, because I'm going to need 2 for Gale Southern Living, 1 for the semifinalist prize and 1 for the grand prize, and then the grand prize for Broken Hearts Ministry. But I'm not going to do the semifinalist prize since it's not the hosting channel. Yeah, semifinalist prize is optional. So I'm just going to do it on the main channel. So I'm going to need 3. So I figured I'll buy the first one now. Anyway, I'm going to need 3. So I have to
plan it out. Yeah, plan it out.
Yeah, spread it out, plan it out. And I have a drawer in my craft room where I just shove them in there. And then when it gets time, I go in there. And then sometimes somebody will be doing a giveaway and I'll just find them in the drawer. Hey, I have something,
That works.
That's what happened with Heather. That gift card was just sitting there in the drawer. Hello, Ginger, Not for Nothing Homestead.
Hi, Ginger. How are you? Thanks, team. Is it Tiegzy? Tiegsy? How do you pronounce that?
I say Tigsy.
Well, thank you for your kind words about our live trips. Jerry enjoys doing that, and you're welcome.
Yeah. Are y'all planning to go to Pinecone Fest?
Yes.
We weren't planning to go, but then Tony started talking to my husband about it, and he talked him into it. So I think because we're going to Vanco Fest. Hello, Christy Betts. Welcome in.
Well, it's not, it'll be fun for him because now he knows some people. You know, he got to, you know.
Yeah, every time he goes, he was a little more comfortable.
Yep.
Around Tony because he had met him, and then, well, this is his first time to meet the boss, but he's seen him on, you know, on Jan's Lives, because I play Jan's Lives on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I'm usually almost always there.
Ginger, we don't have ducks. We just have chickens as far as small stuff, but we don't have ducks. I don't have live ducks. Let me put it that way. We have ducks on the wall for decoration, but we don't have live ducks.
Ducks on the wall.
Yeah.
Just like me. I have roosters, but I don't have a rooster.
Yeah.
I have rooster statues because they look pretty, but
roosters
in general are kind of bullies.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was at, Hobby Lobby. I saw one of those metal-y type roosters that garden decoration, and of course Hobby Lobby, they're already putting all their fall stuff out. I couldn't believe it, but so spring and summer is 50% off. And we looked at it. I said, I'm not spending $40 on a metal rooster, even though that's the half price of 50% off. I'm not going to do that.
I think I did that with one of my YouTube checks in the summer. I actually went out there and bought some really cool yard toys for my backyard, you know, because we're constantly filming our backyard. So my thought is, let's kind of put some pretty yard decorations there so people have something to look at. That way, if my plant's dying, at least there's a pretty little
there's something else out there. Yeah.
A bird. I have a bunch of just birds and frogs and all kinds of stuff. So
I've been trying to look at garden stuff.
And I got a really cool metal fan. You know, because those Dollar Tree ones usually only last 1 year, and sometimes not even that long. So I actually wanted to buy one that, you know, that would last. So I actually spent some money and bought a nice fan for the backyard.
That's cool. Yeah. I gave my mom years ago a windmill, a garden type windmill. And then when we all moved, she moved up to Northern California or Central California, and we moved out here. She gave it to me, and we've tried to keep it, you know, going. It gets a little rusty, so we get the WD-40 out, or, you know, we have to lay it down when the, you know, winds come up for storms and stuff. But I still have it out there. It's about, I'm going to say it's about 25 years old, and it's still out there, creaky, spinning there when the wind's going, you know, and weather bands.
I noticed the paint was already fading on my mushroom that I bought, and it's not even the hottest part of summer yet.
Oh, wow.
I know. I may have to repaint that every year. I don't know how I'm going to get the gloss off of it. I may have to sand it down and repaint it every year. Hello, Rudy.
What did you paint? Can you use like a satin type paint on it to make it shiny? Or did
I wonder if I have some, what's that, polyurethane that I was going to, there's actually some decorations I painted I was going to put on my raised beds outside, and I never did go out there and do that. I need to get that done before June hits for sure, so it can be on there. But I'm just trying to figure out what kind of glue to glue it on with, and then I was going to paint it over with polyurethane. But I don't know. I could. Anyway, maybe it'll look okay faded. Maybe it'll look okay. I don't know. We'll see. It would be really pretty yellow because it's kind of an orange.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. It would be look like an orange sickle.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, the other thing I bought, it wasn't fading, so I don't know.
My son did an etching on a piece of wood for my survivor garden. And I had it in the house until I got the garden set up, and then I took it out there, and he says, "Mom, I didn't spray it with polyurethane. It's going to fade." So he went out there and did all of that. So hopefully I didn't lose the etching part, because it does fade with weather, but I think we saved it. So I thought he had done that, but he didn't. So
yeah,
polyurethane's a good friend for saving garden stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have a little can I had bought to
Yeah.
paint over those decorations. Oh,
Yeah.
and I had got those garden markers and painted them. They were like little mushrooms and snails, and
Yeah.
I painted over those so they would last and not fade. So, but it did work. But of course, some of some of my plants aren't doing as good as I hoped, and I'm adapting by throwing more seed in there. Look. Look,
So it's
I
time.
meant to put
Not a big,
zinnias there. But yeah, that's what I do. I throw more flowers or more herbs or
yeah.
as many seeds as I have, I could just throw something else
Well,
in
you got that 50 count pack, the other day. There
there. I
you
know,
go.
yeah, I don't have to. I mean, the only time that I'm really, really super careful about that last frost date is if I have like only a few seeds of something.
Mhm.
Then I'll wait. But other than that, if I have lots and lots of seed of something, I'll do at least a half or a third of the pack, just because maybe I can get it up.
Yeah.
My brother's
Yeah.
like, why are you already harvested zucchini? I said, because I'm a rebel and I put those seeds out too early.
I made them grow.
Yeah, so that's.
That's cool. Yeah.
I also been doing a lot of, I mend the soil. When my plants start dying off, I started mending my soil,
Makes a difference.
right at the end of the season, so it can sit there all throughout the winter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
We have to beef it up. Don't just dump it out. You can revitalize it and
yeah.
recycle and
I
at least
take the pots of dirt that I have, and I know a lot of people don't recycle their dirt, but I throw them in. Like I have one bed that I'm going to plant in next year, but there's nothing in it right now. So as I go to emptying pots, I'm going to put my dirt in there.
in that
Pull
area.
out,
That's
make
a good
sure I
idea.
pull out the stuff so there's not random seeds, but I'm going to recycle my dirt into there. And a lot of times I'll go out to the wild garden and I'll recycle the dirt out there too. So, but then when the next year starts, I started mending those pots for the coming year with
Mhm.
fresh stuff.
That
But
works. That's
I
really good.
can't afford to just throw the dirt out. I know people are like, don't use the dirt again, but I have to. I can't.
If you add to it and you put some
I
fresh,
do.
some new dirt and some perlite, and all that, then you're just making new dirt. You're not really, no, I wouldn't throw it out either.
Yeah.
Uh,
I put it into the bed and then I just kind of start new. I'll do a little dirt from the other. I might put some crushed up leaves on the bottom and then some dirt from the other side of the yard, maybe some bone meal and then maybe some store bought soil. And maybe a little fertilizer. I just mix up stuff.
it's all going to work out great. Hey, Rebecca. Hey,
Hello,
husband.
Rebecca. How are you? Yeah, I haven't started using my scrubbies from Rebecca yet. I still have one I won from somebody else um, that I'm using, but I think I'm going to wash that one and start using one of them that I picked out from her.
That'll be good.
Yeah, I don't know what they put in it to make it scrubby like that, but I hope she got to sell a lot of those at the meetup.
At Jan's meetup,
Yeah.
I think she got there well, we left at 5-ish and she hadn't left. I don't know
Oh,
when
yeah. When we were over there sitting at Fireside
uh-huh.
on Saturday, she showed up while we were sitting there. I think it was before dark.
That's good.
She showed up, and her brother showed up, and yeah, she was selling those scrubby pads for a fundraiser for Charles at Fallen Arkansas Metro. So we bought a couple of those. I noticed Ann Dale had a whole box of those scrubbies. She showed it on her live the other day. I was like, whoa.
I think I remember her when we were in Georgia with Ann, she told us that Rebecca was making a bunch for her to
Give
sell.
away.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah, that soil, and they have, you can order on the internet, different types of soil testing kits, and every once in a while it pays to make sure you've got all the right,
I know I should do that. I haven't ever done that.
Yeah.
But I do listen, and I'm always asking questions because I'm hoping the next person will tell me one more thing that I haven't used for amending my soil. You know what I mean? If I could just learn one more thing that I could add. And I like adding, natural things like banana peels, eggshells.
I've been hearing a lot, and Jerry's done some reading or research on it. Epsom salts is a good thing to throw in. It puts back in the magnesium, for the dirt. And I know with my tomato plants, I've got one plant per bucket, and I dug my hole about yay so, and I put an egg in the bottom. And then I put my tomato plant almost up to, they can get really leggy. Well, I pulled off all the leaves and I planted it real deep, because the stem of the tomato plant will start generating other more roots and stuff.
Did you crack the egg in there, or did you leave it whole?
Last year I did, and this year I did, and I threw it. And so it may have cracked, it may not. I'm not sure. But it works. I read about it either way. And then put some Epsom salts across the, on the top, and then a little bit of dirt, so that, that magnesium as well as the bone meal gets into it.
Oh.
And
I was wondering, I never heard the full thing on how to do the Epsom salt. Can you do it after your plant's already up, or is that just before you've planted it?
The first time I heard about Epsom salts was I think it's like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. I have to go back and look to be sure, into a gallon of water, and you mix it all up. And then once a month, you water Boston ferns with that Epsom water. That's when I first started hearing about it. Then he came and told me he either saw it on a live, or he saw something on Facebook about it, that Epsom salts, on the top of after you get your plant in, and it doesn't have to be just tomatoes, it can be anything. Then you just put it on the top, sprinkle it around, and then a little bit more dirt on top of it, so that, it gets kind of washed down, and then you water.
Yeah. I bought some of that fish fertilizer, but I bought it at Walmart, and it wasn't a liquid like it was supposed to be. It was like a solid. So I'm thinking it's probably not too good. I was worried I was going to burn out my plants with it. So I decided not to use it anymore.
Heather, I think we just need to look it up. Google it. I'm not sure how much you do. I say sprinkle, and to me that's like a dash, like when you're sprinkling salt on food, like when you're seasoning. To me, that's sprinkling. So it's just like a pinch in your fingers, and you just sprinkle it around. Oh, that's okay. No problem.
Whichever channel you're on is fine. I don't even know what channel you're on because I don't have my phone pulled up right now. I can just see everybody, but I don't know where they are.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's all right. Wherever you are. So that's
right.
That's good.
Thank you for joining the conversation.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, this morning I looked at my watch time and I was at 21:82. So it's consistently climbing.
That's good. That's excellent, Gail. That's great news.
Yes, it is. So I think I might accomplish the goal by August 10th. I was starting to get worried, but then people started helping me, and it's starting to look like
you just put the word out, and it's amazing what comes your way, and sometimes you're surprised by who's doing it, and somebody you wouldn't have even thought about.
My family too. My brother texted me the other day. He goes, how's your watch hours? And I told him. He's like, okay. So then there was a day, most every day it moves up by at least 2 hours. But one day it stayed exactly the same for 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And, but that was really rare. Usually it goes up at least 2, if not way more every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's great. Great news.
That's awesome. So I think I'll get it accomplished. So it'll be really nice to be able to have some money to put into the ministry, because even with my little bitty YouTube check, I still always, every time, buy something for ministry every time. It may be a few things at Walmart. It might be $20 or $25 at Dollar Tree, whatever
Right.
it is that I need.
And whatever you get, whatever you can buy is just a little bit more for those people. They need it.
Yeah, we're about to do ministry on Saturday. My husband's going to go with us this time. We're going to go to the Salvation Army. And we have a lady that helps us. Her name is Charlotte. She's my mom's home health aide nurse.
Uh-huh.
And, so the 4 of us are going to go. And our goal was to have 20 small bags each, like the gift size bag full of non-perishable food. And then we did, instead of doing the big toiletries, we did the mini toiletries because we were trying to service about 40 people this time. So
sometimes the small ones, they don't last as long, but they're not as cumbersome for them to move around with them. Whereas the big ones,
these will be like those paper gift sacks that you get at Dollar Tree. But normally, though, we use like backpacks or like the grocery bags that are like a cloth material.
Yeah.
But that lady who donates the t-shirts and stuff to us and gloves and hats, she also donates the bags that come with them. So I'll just use whatever bag she gives me.
Oh yeah. That's just
sometimes it's almost like a purse.
Yeah, and it allows you to spread your money out a little bit farther instead of on the bags. You can.
Yeah, and then Walmart had those grocery bags for 50 cents, and I purchased about probably $12 worth of those. So just, you never know when the donations are going to stop coming for something. So Mom and I both wanted to get some of those while they were on sale.
Oh, absolutely.
If I go in Dollar Tree and they have a whole bunch of hand sanitizer or a whole bunch of wipes or a whole bunch of toothpaste on sale, one time they had a whole bunch of wipes and they had them 4 for $1 for 25 cents each. And I called I went outside, paid for my items. I went outside, called my husband. It's like, hey, can I have like about $20? I said, because they have wipes on sale and I could get a lot. Because normally they're 97 cents at Walmart or $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And I was going to be able to get 5 for $1.25, which would be the normal price. So that was a good deal. And I actually opened one pack up and they're perfectly wet and fine. So they were just close to their expiration date.
Yeah. That's
so
did you buy all that they had?
We bought them all, every single one. He said, "Okay, that's my donation." So.
Oh shit, he's a keeper.
Yeah, he is. He bought when we went to a Dollar Tree when we were over there in Missouri. I had a few items I was looking for that I'm having trouble finding here, and one of them was those 3 packs of empty bottles.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought 15 packages of those empty bottles. So that's 45. Because we got the big thing of shampoo and we load them up to where in those. Yeah, and we do that. And that way we used to give them full-size shampoo bottles, but we figured it was making the bag kind of heavy. And so we figured the smaller one would be easier for them to carry. So, then we also found some long johns on sale at the Walmart there. So I picked out 3 pairs of those. I think 1 medium and 2 extra large. They were for $3 each, and they're about $12 these days. So $3 was a good deal.
Wow, that's great. That was a great buy.
Yeah, it was. That's the kind of stuff I can't pass it up. I wasn't even looking. I was just walking from one side of the store to the other, and I looked up and I was like, "Oh, long johns are on sale." And I didn't know exactly what. I knew I had a lot more tops than bottoms. I'm like, I want to be able to match those up by the fall. So let me just get this medium and then 2 extra large. Because we actually have more bigger people than we do smaller people.
Yeah.
There are some mediums, hardly anybody is a small, because they're adults.
Right.
But there's a lot of
mediums and large.
Everybody is large and above, like,
Hi, Miss Ann, how are you?
2X. So I guess we're feeding our homeless pretty well because they're not teeny tiny. So
Good meals at the shelters when they can get
good
in.
meals at the shelter. Yeah, we've actually been handing out stuff before when other people would drive up and be giving them stuff too. That's happened to us multiple times. I guess there's other people, but my mom, we either go to the Salvation Army or we drive around the streets and look for people with backpacks and bedrolls or signs. The signs. We like the signs. The signs just tell us, hey, it identifies exactly who they are. It's like having a driver's license or an ID card. Hey, there's one.
Yeah.
It makes it easy, but we kind of got our eye trained to look for them. So
And are they appreciative? I mean, they're actually looking more for money, but are they appreciative of what you are able to do for them?
It's pretty rare. I used to use the word homeless. I don't use that word at all to them now because they're offended. Right. So now I just say, would you like a goodie bag? That's exactly what I say. And they're like, yeah, sure. Only a few people have turned us down. Okay. One of them was really, really super hopped up on something. And then a couple of men were just prideful. Maybe they were homeless, but they got a check from the government or something, but just couldn't afford their own place. But yeah, occasionally we do get turned down, but usually people are really nice.
That's good. That's good.
I really don't care how mad they are when they take it.
True. Because that's not the thing is to provide it for them, right?
They can be rude to me. I'll still give it to them because that's my, that's pretty much what I consider to be my calling now. Mm-hmm. So I'm rushing over to get to them and I just hand it to them and sometimes we pray with them. Sometimes we don't.
Right.
And that's it. And then we just go on. But we pray at the beginning of the day to make sure that we find the people that need our help.
That need it. That's
mm-hmm. And there's been multiple times where they said, oh, one lady, she said we were giving out packs of Long Johns and we'd take the Ziploc bag and put the top and the bottom in there. And she says, I was dreaming about Long Johns last night. And then another guy, we were handing him a sack lunch and he said, I was so hungry. And he's one of the ones that actually asked for 2. Yeah. So we've heard a lot of stories. I think that particular guy said he had just got out of jail and didn't have anywhere to go.
Huh.
So we've heard all kinds of stories.
But, I bet. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think I'm probably going to get off here and go do some planting outside. I got a lot of seeds.
Yeah.
A lot of seeds to plant.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not even trying to get them all out. I don't even have enough space, but I'm gonna throw a few more flowers out there. And she sent me one kind of rare squash that I want to try to find a place for that. And
good.
Yeah, I like my squash. It almost looks like a pumpkin, though. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try anything. But I love pumpkins and gourds. I love just like growing them and putting them on the front porch. My neighbors know now that anything on my front porch is usually something I've grown. So last year I managed to get 3 regular pumpkins and 2 white pumpkins and some bumpy gourds. And that's what was on my
I like the bumpy gourds. I like the bumpy gourds. Yeah.
I don't even know the name of them. I just call them bumpy gourds.
Yeah.
But most
of them are green. They're fun to look at.
Yeah.
Well, Gail, thanks for asking me to join you today. This was fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Me too.
And happy gardening to you.
You too. Well, you said you guys are going to Pinecone Fest, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Well, we'll see you. We'll be seeing you there then, I guess.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you guys all for coming in and hanging out with us today. Appreciate all you guys doing our little post meetup live. Oh, I missed a lot of comments there. I guess I didn't scroll up while I was talking. Hello, Homestead in the Wood with D. I apologize if I missed any comments. I think I didn't scroll up. But anyway, thank you guys all for coming in. I appreciate all of you. And email me if you want to exchange playlists with me. I'll be glad to exchange with you. So bye, guys. Thanks for coming in.